Hey, welcome back to my channel. Kind of a water fasting chronicles. I hope you've been following or going back and catching up from day 18. Today is day 26. Hardcore. Just joking. Alright, so a bit of an update. The last 12 hours were kind of weird. For some reason last night, I just got in my head I am not drinking enough water. And I just started kind of getting paranoid about that. I don't know why. I started sipping some water last night. When you're on a water fast, you should not be chugging or trying to get large quantities in a short period of time. That's quite dangerous. So really, you can't think, oh, I'm not drinking enough, let me make up for the week. You can't do that. So I just kind of sipped a little bit and just told myself, you'll have to continue to slip. I don't know why it was, I do know why it was in my head. We'll come back to that in a second. Then this morning I woke up, urinated, and I thought about yesterday, and I'd urinated throughout the day, so there was no reason for me to think I was not drinking enough water. I have been online a lot, just kind of, checking in, reading different forums and what have you, and I've run into a lot of posts, I'm not saying all, but a lot of posts where people said that they're drinking like a gallon or more a day, which I think is excessive for a long fast. I mean, to each their own, but I know I'm not near that, so maybe in my head I just kind of started thinking, oh, you're going to run into trouble. My mindset is this, that if I'm not drinking enough water, or if you're in a juice fast, whatever, if you're not consuming enough, eventually it catches up in the end. So I guess I'm just really protective these last 5 days, but really I'm okay. I mean, even the urine this morning was textbook color. Too dark means you're not hydrated enough, too light means you're overhydrated, but I was like that right in there, that straw color. I think it's the best I've seen. So I think it's just that mind thing, and something we have to remember when it comes to a fast or anything like this is that there is no two cases alike. You can read and look at other people's information, but only you know what you're doing exactly and how your body's reacting, so you've got to listen to yourself. So that was interesting. Another part of that is kind of my stomach was starting to feel queasy last night and even this morning. And again, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what have I done? I literally had a bowel movement just before recording this. TMI, but my point being is I already said that even in recording this, that I've always been a person that when sometimes a bowel movement comes on, my stomach gets queasy. It's like, it's moving through the intestine and it's on its way. So everything's in check. That's just one big point to remind yourself. Know what you're doing, stay the path, and don't panic. But like I said, it's the longest I've ever done a water fast before, technically, and it's the last 5 days. I just want to make sure I get there, checking out my boxes. So that was kind of interesting. But otherwise, I feel fine. I decided to run an errand this morning, and my toddler was like, let's not take the car, take the stroller. So I was like, okay. So I got my walk in while pushing a stroller uphill. And I was fine, came back, just lay down, flaked out, drank some water, and I'm feeling good. Just did a couple notes here, just some things I wanted to cover off. I'm going to put an update of my app. I haven't done that in a little while at the end. I'm saying how many days I have left, and then like I said, I don't really check the time on the app now because, I had to go 700 plus hours, and I'm still in the fives, and it just seems like the road was never ending. But I had a proper look yesterday, and I realized I had the time in wrong. So the 744 hours was actually going to give me 31 days and X amount of hours. I'm hard stop at 30, so I reset that. I'll do a screenshot to show. I don't know what happened. It's the app is very precise, like it puts into the time, so somehow I must have clocked in some extra hours there. So my hours are actually not 7:44 until it's come down to like 7:20 something. So I'll end midnight Friday. Midnight Saturday, midnight Friday, end of day Friday is the end of the fast. So I'll put the update of where I am with that. So pressing forward. So what else I actually did yesterday was I spent a lot of time looking into the refeeding, and huge. I am so glad I dug into that. So initially I kind of said I thought I would kind of go into a juice fast. It's not that I wanted to do a juice fast, but from what I was understanding from glancing at the refeeding process is that you want to slowly start introducing minerals. So I thought, well, I'll do some juices and what have you. However, I don't think that's quite correct. Now, I'm going to say it again, I'm plant-based vegan, so my intro will not have any kind of bone broth, chicken broth, or anything like that. So I had to really dig deep to see what I could find. And I found this gentleman who has a fasting retreat in, I can't remember his name, in Costa Rica. I don't know who's familiar with that. He seems like a pretty popular guy. And what he was saying is that in actual fact, a lot of people come out of an extended fast and not feel like eating. But he said it is important that you do start, even though you're starting maybe at 11 calories a day, a few meals a day at 11 calories each, you have to get the rebuilding, because what's happened is through this fast, you do have some old food or old waste that's sitting in your intestines. And and as you start to intake, it's going to pull water. And so you need to get your system going to push that out. And that's part of the fasting process as well. So he says, you want to get your minerals in, but you want to get food in there as well. So I said, okay, no problem. So my first day, I'm thinking day one will be liquids, probably going to go with orange juice. I'm trying to find out what's season around here right now. All I'm listing is going to be oranges, citrus primarily. And then day two, I'm going to see, I don't know what I'm going to do. My Costco nearby, they have things year round. They have watermelons, but they're like $10. Can you imagine paying $10 for watermelon? I was just paying like $3 in the summertime. And the problem is, for my health, obviously I'd buy it, but it's probably going to be pink and have no taste. So I'm probably going to stay away from that. I thought I'd buy it, but I don't want to run the risk of getting it and then it has no flavor. I mean, I could hold it and juice it later with ginger, but no, I want something to eat. So I'm going to look for, I'll get some clementines. So that will probably be something I'll start to eat. And I got to look around. I made a list of things that should be in season now for November, for the end of this fall, and see what I can find. And he suggests doing mono meals. Interesting. And then work your way up, obviously, into the greens and the salads. Again, I'm doing it on a plant-based vegan kind of way. And most important too, your refeeding should be, they say as long as you're fasting. Someone said they do 150%. So for instance, if I'm at 30 days water feasting, spend 45 days refeeding. Now that's not to sit there, again, because I'm going to go probably into a raw plant-based, it's probably going to look very similar. So I'm just kind of going to go into my regular day-to-day diet and just kind of increase the amounts that I eat. So I'm back up to where I need to be. So it's not going to be like I am, if I were, it's not going to be like I am suddenly just having only fruits for another 45 days before going on to solid foods. What's going to look like is I'm going to just keep adding in the different fruits and vegetables as I go along. So the 45 days will be a refeeding, but still very similar to a healthy lifestyle that I want to go into, if that makes sense. But that was very interesting. Sorry, truck in the background. That was very interesting to realize that, I mean, I did know it. People, I think initially I had heard before an extended fast, make sure that is equal time that you spent fasting coming out, then which I think I kind of said, I can do a couple of weeks. But again, I'm not looking to get anything but plant-based back in my system, so maybe that's not as hard. But I do get the idea of the, increasing the minerals, letting the body re-familiarize itself with food, and go from there. So that is a plan. So I am going to, just double checking my notes here. Yeah, so it won't be a juice fast after all. It's going to be like a juice maybe one day, slowly, and see how long that takes, and then attempt to build the amount of food I start eating, but in a mono style over a period of time, and go from there. So I'm definitely going to cover that. I always see those videos where people are like, this is my first thing I'm consuming after the water fast, and they're all, giggly and what have you. So I look forward to that moment. Anyway, that's everything. So everything else is going well. I did do a little bit of core work yesterday. I'll do a little bit today. Nothing major, but just like I said, I just want to get that activated, get the fire going, and go from there. So 5 days left. I'm taking it easy, as I said. Keep sipping my water, and full stream ahead. Thanks for joining. Any comments, let me know below, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.